Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of Bennington Made. I'm your host, Matt Harrington with the Bennington Area Chamber, and with me as always is Cat TV. You may be wondering what I'm doing holding this green bin. What we're doing here at TAM Facilities, Recycling Waste Management. You may have also wondered what happens when you put all this paper into these green bins. Where does it go? What does it get turned into? What does it get made into? Well, we're gonna go meet Trevor inside. He's the head guy who lets us know what happens to our waste once we give it to TAM. Let's go inside, meet with Trevor, and see how it's made. Hey Trevor.
Good to see you.
Good to see you, thanks for having us. So, we've got this bin here, it's full of everything that we probably usually throw out and throw away.
So you recycled correctly, that's good.
Yeah.
You have plastic, you have paper, looks like you have some aluminum in there, all mixed together. What we do here is we recycle. So we take material in, we separate it into its different commodities, we bale it up and we ship it back out. If you don't recycle, it winds up on this side. So here we process garbage, we process construction debris. A lot of the construction debris that we take in, we are actually able to separate. We pull the clean wood out, we grind that up. We bring that to our compost facility. We separate metals out to be recycled. And then the recycling side, which is what we're kind of most interested in because we're all here to save the planet.
Yeah.
And come on up, let's take a look where it goes. So here's a pile of mixed recycling. As you can see, again, just like what you have in your bin, we've got the tin, we've got the glass, plastic, a lot of paper. So what we do is Scott loads it with the excavator. You can see the conveyor belt going up. Why don't we recycle your stuff? Let's throw it on.
Throw it stuff.
Yes. All right, so we'll take it from here. And so the material came up from our recycling bin, came up the in-feed conveyor, and now it's getting broken into its parts.
Very cool.
So in essence, there is a cost to recycle, and that's important for folks to know, that even though it doesn't show up on your bill, a recycling charge, this does cost money, and the value of the material right now does not exceed the processing cost. So we're still on a negative number. That being said, this facility, TAM, opened May of 2015, and we feel great about the progress. We're up and running in a very bad economic time for recycling. We're actually doing okay, and we're very excited about the future. We've taken on a lot of work in Massachusetts. Williams College is a big supporter. A lot of other businesses in Mass have come on, and haulers have come on. And so with that economy of scale, it's allowing us to do that line upgrade that I talked about. It's allowing us to expand. And it's nice because we're importing Massachusetts dollars to help a Vermont facility work.
Yep.
And that I feel great about. And I've got a lot of hardworking guys. I mean, as you pointed out, here we are in January, and that's what we're doing. We're picking, we're making it happen, and it's a great feeling to see these jobs here locally.
Yep, absolutely.
Each one of these bales weighs 1,600 pounds. So it's an amazing amount of force that this baler does. And we can make a bale about every 3 minutes. So he'll feed it with a skid steer. It's just compacting. It shoots it out the side there, and it ties it with wires. Interestingly, this is a recycled baler. We actually bought this from Nantucket.
Yeah.
So it came over literally on the boat.
Baler that was recycled.
That was recycled.
Kind of ironic.
Yes. Originally it was used to bale garbage so that they could put it on a boat and get it off of Nantucket. We bought it and rehabbed it, rebuilt it, and now we're using it for all of our different commodities. So as you see, he's grabbing the stuff that the guy separated, and he just keeps feeding that chute, and that's
fits about how many pounds of
each one of those bales weighs 1,600 pounds, so almost a ton. So off the baler it comes, and now we're gonna go load the tractor trailer. Typically we load about 3 tractor trailers every week of mixed paper. We do 1 to 2 of cardboard, and then plastics is a little bit more unregular. So when the trailer goes and off to West Rock in western New York. As you can see, we don't even fill a trailer full because it's so heavy that we can't even fill it to the top. So it's accurate within 20 pounds. So we got a little margin of error.
Oh, good. I feel good.
And look at that, we're an even 500. So here's our scale. This is kind of the lifeblood of the plant. So all material comes in and gets weighed. That's how we either charge or pay depending on what the commodity is. And we also check our load weight going out. As we talked about with the paper only filling up halfway, we can only run 80,000 pounds. So that's every load that comes back out has to be weighed, and it's within a 1,000-pound margin of error. So now that we've seen where recycling goes, there's another type of recycling that we should talk about, and that's our food waste. Again, part of the universal recycling law, but we can actually see where our recycling goes, and then we can go and check out where the compost goes. So let's go to the compost yard.
Go check it out. We've handled the trash part, the recycling part, but you also have a third operation too.
We do. Matt, we're up here at our compost yard, and what we're going to talk about is what to do with this. Okay. What to do with this and our other food waste, and how do we process it and what do we turn it into. So we start with a variety of feedstocks. Feedstocks are ingredients. Basically, we're making a recipe. It's very kitchen correlation. So the ingredients to our recipe are food waste, which we've got a pile of this over here. And that's from supermarkets, that's from restaurants, that's from schools, the hospital in Bennington, vet's home. So we do all the large institutions in town. Okay. So we mix food waste with some other stuff. We have a pile of horse manure here that we pull off of. This is old hay, some corn stubble it's called, which is basically when they come through and take off the ears and what's left they bale up, and we use that as a feedstock or an ingredient. You'll see down below a pile of leaves. That's the leaf waste from the town transfer station. And then on the far side of that jet black pile is actually high carbon wood ash. Okay. So one feedstock that I didn't mention that is a part of our mix is money residuals. So what we see here is short cotton fiber from the Crane Company down in Dalton, Mass. And so when they make paper, or when they make currency, this is the short cotton fibers that come through the screen. So this was destined to be a $100 bill, and now it sits in our pile.
Not quite $100.
No, we've worked very hard to try to figure out how to put it back together, but alas, we can't do it. So this gets mixed. So Matt and the loader is taking all of these feedstocks, and we blend them together here on the pad. Okay. This is a 12-inch thick compacted gravel pad, and any of the runoff that comes off of this pile goes into a lined pond, and then we pump that to a sewer treatment plant, or we reuse it in dry times. This is a great example of the forced air system. So here's a completed windrow here. This middle one is in the making. Yep. So what we have is the 4-inch PVC pipes. We put about 12 inches of wood chips over top of it, and that acts as a plenum. So the air kind of spreads out and then it goes up. So on the back side of those pipes is a forced air system that's blowing air into them. And so we load our mixed material up onto that, and then we cap it with a what we call a biofilter, which is really just finished compost, some of that charcoal to act as an odor suppressant, and then we form it up, and it stays with the fans blowing for about 3 weeks. After 3 weeks, really after about 2 days, the food waste is unrecognizable, it's gone. And then after 3 weeks, the pile is what we call done for here. Now it still needs to cure. The pile operates between about 131 and 170 degrees, and it gets up to temperature within 24 hours. So those microbes are creating the heat as they digest.
And energy. Yeah.
Yes.
And you bring up odor, and we should mention, because people can't smell it on the TV there, but there is a lot of odor up here, and it's just whether you're walking there or here or anywhere. I mean, you're getting all these different, I would say they're not the most pleasant odors, but it means that kind of it's working. It's
correct. So what we have is because we have exposed feedstocks, and you can see the steam coming off of this, that's where the odors are generated. So once they're mixed and put into the pile, if we walk up and smell this pile, for example, that will not have the odors that our raw feedstocks have.
Yep.
And again, the key is that you manage them properly. You give them the right oxygen, the right moisture. Without oxygen, if it goes anaerobic, it starts to smell really bad really quick.
Yep.
So Matt's job is to kind of manage the microbes. As he says, he's a bug farmer.
Yeah. So is it a feeling? Is it a gut? Is it I kind of give maybe like a chef who's doing pinches of salt and pinches of ingredients. How do you know when you've added just the right amount?
Well, just like a chef, they start off with a recipe that they follow, and then after they do it for enough years, they can feel their way through it. Matt Proft has been composting for at least 20 years, and I think closer to 30. His family owns Someday Farm up in Dorset, Vermont. They did composting there for many years, and now he runs this for me. And his experience, combined with when we first got all the feedstocks, we do the testing, and we figure out what their carbon to nitrogen ratios are. But then he feels his way through it. It goes off of the active pad onto the curing pad. So these windrows have like this one here and this one here, do not have any air going into them.
Okay.
We still turn them and we still manage them for about 6 to 7 months. And then it goes through a screener, and then the screened product is what we sell to customers.
Yep.
Doesn't smell over here, that's the good thing.
Hey Mike, it doesn't smell over here.
I don't know if you guys can make it.
I'll be right there in a minute.
You want to go that way?
When in Rome.
Oh,
Let's go this way. That looks too deep. I think we'll go better off this way.
Nope, that was a bad idea.
We do accept meat and bones. You can see that this bone has been greatly deteriorated, and there's nothing left to it. But what happens is this will get screened, and then the final product is what we sell. But a huge
Screening happens. What is that, like a sifting, or what's going on when they screen it?
It's a trommel screen.
Yep.
And so by and large, this is all broken down. There's no odors now.
Nope.
And that's our finished compost. And this will be organic spec compost, these couple rows here. So it's the trommel screen. You feed it with a loader. It goes through a big rotating drum. It's got 1/2-inch holes, and whatever is 1/2 inch, smaller than 1/2 inch, goes through, which is what we then sell. And the bigger stuff, bigger than 1/2 inch, goes off another conveyor as overs. So some of that will get recycled back in. Clamshells will break down. They're great calcium. They start to get weak, as you can see. The process does break.
Yeah.
And so a couple times through, this will be nothing but
Shells.
a lot of shells, mussel shells,
Oh, probably
clam shells.
from restaurants. Yeah.
Kevin at Mike's is a big clamshell producer. So yeah, we really pride ourselves on a good quality compost with no plastic in it. As you can see, this is unscreened, and yet there's no plastic. There's nothing foreign in it that would be offensive. So
Trash, recycling, compost, TAM does it all. And you've given us kind of a full version of all the stuff that you are actually making right here in Bennington, and we appreciate it so much.
well, thanks for the shoot, and thanks for involving us, and And thanks for all the hard work the Chamber does. So we're happy to be here in Bennington. Thank you, Matt.
So now you know how that's made when you put those components in that green bin, or you start to do some of the composting that you do at your house, and then you give it off to Trevor and Tam over here. That's how it's made, folks, right here in Bennington, Vermont.
Bagel for the road? No.
No, but I'm big on peppers, so on our way back, we'll